first for our visitors, the Milligan Buffaloes. Leading off playing at second base, number 18. Batting second, playing in center field, number 11, Taylor Rowland. Batting third, the designated player, number 17, Amy Mitchell. Cleanup hitter at first baseman is number 3, Jalen Howard. Batting fifth, the shortstop, number 23, Jordan Roulette-Weaver. Batting sixth, playing in right field, number 12, Mia Garza. Batting seventh, third baseman, number 13, Alana Parsons. Batting eighth and catching, number 9, Molly Johnson. Batting ninth, the starting pitcher, number 8, Caitlin Seacrest. The flex player is the left fielder, number 5, Lily Fraser. Milligan is coached by Cassie Fortner and assisted by Kaylee Higgins. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the starting lineup for your Carson-Newman Eagles. In left field from Michael, Virginia, sophomore, number 44, Addie Saunders. In center field from Gadsden, Alabama, a 5'5" senior, number 15, Addie Martin. In right field from Knoxville, Tennessee, a 5'1" junior, number 6, Shelby Armstrong. At third base from White House, Tennessee, a 5'6" senior, number 47, Bruce Gregory. At shortstop from Knoxville, Tennessee, a 5'8" freshman, number 33, Maria Smith. At second base from San Diego, California, a 5'4" freshman, number 2, Reese Winchester. At first base from Cross Plains, Tennessee, a 5'9" senior, number 40, Macaulay Bailey. The catcher from Black Mountain, North Carolina, a 5'9" senior, number 5, Bailey Worley. And the starting pitcher from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, a 5'10" sophomore, number 16, Reagan Rowan. Carson-Newman is coached by Michael Graves, assisted by Holly Tucker Vance and Hayden Dye. Athletic trainer is Colby Reed. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please rise. First, for our invocation today by Carson-Newman student Abby Lee, and then please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us all to be here today and for the beautiful weather that you've given. We ask that you would keep all the players safe and allow everyone to travel home safe tonight. We ask that all things be done to glorify you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. Current and former service members may render a salute. Gentlemen, remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
On a sunny On a 73-degree Thursday afternoon, we welcome you to Jefferson City, Tennessee for a non-conference clash on the diamond of the Vicky Kazee Holifield Softball Complex as Carson-Newman returns home to take on Milligan from the NAIA. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagles Sports Network. Delighted you could join me on this beautiful day in Mossy Creek. Carson-Newman is going to turn to Reagan Rowan, who will be making her second consecutive start. She got the win on Tuesday in a 13-1 run rule victory over Tusculum. She is making her fourth appearance overall in her Carson-Newman career, all coming this month in March. As for Milligan, they come in 14-8 on the season, and this is the lineup that the Buffaloes will be trotting out. Ashley Worley, the second baseman, bats leadoff, followed by the center fielder, Kaylee Oler. Then it's the DP, Haley Vigil. And batting fourth is the first baseman, Jalen Halliburton. In the 5 spot is the shortstop, Jordan Roulette Wheeler, with Mia Grasse, the right fielder, batting 6th. Elena Parsons bats 7th as the third baseman. Molly Johnson, the catcher, bats 8th. And the pitcher, Caitlin Seacrest, rounds things out. Rowan comes set, and the first pitch to the plate. This is high to Worley, coming at 1 o'clock local time. Carson-Newman, winners of 3 straight, now sit at 25-8 on the season. The 1-0. This is low and inside against Worley, the second baseman. Coming off their first sweep in South Atlantic Conference play, and they took down Tusculum in both games in the 11E rivalry on Tuesday. 2-0 from Rowan. This is outside. 3 balls and no strikes to the leadoff hitter in Worley. Rowan issued no walks in the win against Tusculum on Tuesday. Here's the 3-0. And it's a 4-pitch walk to start things here in the top of the first inning against Milligan as Worley reaches. Head coach Michael Graves bringing out a very different lineup than what has been used in the first 33 games this season. We'll start on the infield. Bailey Worley makes her first start of the season as it is fouled back on the first pitch offering by Kaylee Oler, who is showing bunt. Count goes to 0-1. Macaulay Bailey's over at first base, with the second baseman being Reese Winchester. It has been Shelby Armstrong and her splitting duties at second base as of late. Malia Smith has been the everyday shortstop, but she's there once again as the 0-1 misses down and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Oler, and Grace Gregory is at the hot corner at third. In the outfield, it is Abby Martin in straightaway center. Addie Saunders flanks her in left, and in right is Shelby Armstrong. Here's the 1-1. The bunt is popped up towards the first base side and out of reach for a chasing Worley. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes against Kaylee Oler. Oler has started every game this season. He comes in as a .274 hitter on the 2026 campaign. The 1-2 from Rowan. Swing and a miss. There's strikeout number 1 on the afternoon for the sophomore. Puts 1 away. Brings up the designated player, Haley Vigil. As Rowan went to rise ball, elevated it just a tad. First pitch, misses low and inside to Haley Vigil, the DP. Starting her 13th game on the season. Stands in the righty's batter's box, the 1-0. Low and inside once more from Rowan. It's quickly 2 balls and no strikes. Ashley Worley is over at first after a leadoff 4-pitch walk. And Rowan finds herself behind in this count once again. 2-0. Hard hit line drive into left field for a base hit. A scorching shot from Haley Vigil puts 2 on with 1 away for Milligan in the top of the first inning. That brings up the cleanup hitter, first baseman Jalen Halliburton. Has hit 1 of the 4 home runs this season for the Buffaloes. Stands tall in the righty's batter's box in the first pitch from Rowan. This is low and inside against the right-handed hitting first baseman. 1-0 from Rowan. Halliburton cuts and misses. Levels the count at 1-1. For Rowan this season, the sophomore out of Soddy Daisy, Tennessee, has gotten healthy. She's been dealing with some back problems since she first arrived in Mossy Creek, but has gotten healthy and has become a valued arm in the bullpen. As the 1-1 misses upstairs on the rise ball, 2 balls and a strike. Made her first career start against Bluefield State on March 1st. That was in Raleigh. Went 2 innings, striking out 4, just allowing 1 hit. She comes home on the 2-1. Foul tipped into the mitt of Worley. Levels the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. She didn't pitch again for another 20 days until she was used in a high leverage situation against Anderson, second half of that twin bill this past Saturday. Went an inning and 2/3, striking out a pair and giving up 1 hit. 2-2, Halliburton pops it up. This will stay on the middle of the infield. The shortstop, Malia Smith, calls everybody off, puts 2 away. Carson-Newman picked up the win in that game against Anderson. It became Rowan's first career win in her collegiate career, and then got the nod in Game 2 against the Pioneers on Tuesday, striking out 4 in a 5-inning appearance, giving up just 1 run. It was unearned in a 13-1 run rule victory. And her first pitch misses low to the shortstop, Jordan Roulette Wheeler. Now making her second consecutive start. 1-0. Wave of the miss from Roulette Wheeler. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 away. Roulette Wheeler comes into today's contest 4th on the team among qualified hitters with a .297 average. Has 12 RBIs this season. The 1-1. Roulette Wheeler cuts and misses, and Rowan 1 strike away from getting around this adventurous top of the first inning. Worley worked a leadoff walk, then it was a 1-out single for Haley Vigil. Here's the 1-2. Roulette Wheeler stays patient and lets the rise ball hang upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away and 2 on. For a Milligan team that is trying to maybe play a little spoiler. The 2-2, ground ball to the left side. Smith picks it up. Long throw on to first is in time, and there is out number 3. Milligan strands a pair in the top of the first, and we'll get our first looks at the Carson-Newman bats when we come back on the other side of this break on the Eagle Sports Network. Bottom of the first inning, and Caitlin Sechrist gets the ball for Milligan, as this is the Carson-Newman lineup she'll be facing, beginning with the shortstop Malia Smith, standing in the lefty's batter's box. And the first pitch from the left-hander comes in. This is beneath the knees of Smith. Abby Martin will be the second one to come up, the center fielder, followed by the first baseman, Macaulay Bailey. The inning is to continue. It'd be the cleanup hitter and third baseman Grace Gregory, who has been swinging a hot bat. 1-0 finds the zone against Smith, and the count goes to 1-1. Addie Saunders, the left fielder, is batting 5th for the 3rd consecutive game. And then Sarah Walker, the DP, is in the 6th spot. 1-1 to Smith. Cuts and misses on a drop pitch from Sechrist. And Sechrist now in the driver's seat with a 1-2 count. Top pitcher on this Milligan staff, and there's a look at her stats. 9-4 with a 2.92 ERA this season. The 1-1. Smith, the chopper to the right side, and it squeaks through into right field for a leadoff base hit. Puts a lot of speed on the bases now for Carson-Newman. Didn't finish their lineup. In the 7, 8, and 9 spot for the Eagles is Shelby Armstrong batting 7th, playing in right field. Reagan Rowan is batting, and she's been the starting pitcher. Talk about why she's got a bat today in the 8 spot. And then the second baseman, Reese Winchester, rounds things out. First pitch to Abby Martin is a drop pitch that's in for a strike. Smith going on the first pitch, and throw down from Molly Johnson. Not in time. Stolen base number 19 on the season for the freshman by way of Knoxville, Tennessee. Top mark in the South Atlantic Conference this season. The 0-1 to Martin. Tries to square a bunt down, clips it off the end of her bat, foul to the first base side. And the count is at 0-2. Martin has been enjoying a stellar senior season. The 0-2 skips in front of home plate from Sechrist, and the count goes to 1-2. Senior out of Gadsden, Alabama, has got a new career best mark with 27 RBIs this season, eclipsing her previous best of 24 when she was a sophomore. The 1-2. Martin, a slow roller to the left side of the infield. Picked up by Roulette Wheeler, the shortstop. The throw to first is late as the speedy Martin makes it back-to-back base hits to open up the top of the bottom of the first inning, rather, and brings up Macaulay Bailey with nobody out. Bailey saw her 51-game on-base streak snapped on Tuesday against Tusculum. First pitch to Bailey is a strike at the bottom of the zone as Martin was going on the first pitch, and the throw from Johnson went to third to make sure Smith was still there. So Martin adds to her stolen base total. Now up to 54 in her career as Bailey swings on the second pitch she sees, lines it out to center. Tagging from third goes Smith, and there's RBI number 236 in Macaulay Bailey's career. And it makes it 1-0 Carson-Newman in the bottom of the first inning. Martin goes up to third, and here is Grace Gregory. First pitch to her. This is outside from Sechrist. Gregory is coming off an outstanding day against Tusculum. Across the doubleheader, she was 5 for 7. Particularly in Game 2, she was 4 of 4 with 6 RBIs. The 1-0 out in front of the off-speed. 1-1. She launched her team-leading 6th home run of the season in the 13-1 win over Tusculum. Kick-started the offensive outburst for the Eagles in the top of the first inning. The 1-1. Waves through it as she twists her bat in her hands. Got fooled again on another off-speed. This one bouncing in front of home plate. And the count goes to 1-2. One-two from Sechrist. It's another drop pitch, and this time Gregory watches it go by as it misses down and in over top her shoes. 2-2 is the count with one away in the bottom of the first inning. Martin over at third. The 2-2. Gregory drives it up the middle and into center field. Martin will come in to score. Carson-Newman adds a pair in the bottom of the first on an RBI single from Grace Gregory, pushing her season total up to 34. And she's now got 7 RBIs this week. That brings the left fielder Addie Saunders to the dish. Standing in the lefty's batter's box, first pitch from Sechrist. misses downstairs. 1-0. Saunders second on the team with a .423 average this season. It's good for 5th in the South Atlantic Conference. The 1-0. This is low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. These two in the order, Gregory and Saunders, have been 2 of the hottest bats for Carson-Newman as of late. 2-0. Low once more from Sechrist, and it's 3-0. Saunders in the midst of a 7-game on base streak, and in that span, she is 12 for 20 at the dish, including 5 multi-hit games. Had the green light on the 3-0 and cuts through the drop pitch. In her sophomore season, she has slowly moved up the pecking order in the lineup. 3-1. Saunders chops it foul off of her lead right foot. Count runs full with 1 away. Gregory over at first after an RBI single. Payoff from Sechrist. Misses to Saunders, and she'll work a 1-out walk. And so she has now reached base in 8 consecutive games. Brings up the designated player, Sarah Walker, who, like the previous 2 hitters in this Carson-Newman order, has also been finding a groove as of late in her freshman season. First pitch from Sechrist misses above the letters. 1-0. Time is called as there'll be a conversation in the circle. As Cassie Fortner, the head coach for Milligan, going to have a conversation between Sechrist and the catcher, Molly Johnson. And while they meet, we'll introduce you to the rest of the Milligan defensive alignment. Jalen Halliburton is at first with Ashley Worley at second. Jordan Roulette Wheeler is the shortstop, and Elena Parsons is at third. From left to right in the outfield, it is Lily Frazier, Kaylee Oler, and Mia Grasse. They all disperse, and Sechrist readies on the 1-0 to Walker. This is outside, 2 balls and no strikes to the freshman out of Mills River, North Carolina. Was 4 for 7 with 5 RBIs across the 2 games against the Pioneers on Tuesday. 2-0. Skips in front of home plate. 3-0. In game 1, she delivered what was the game-winning hit, a 2-run single in the 5th inning. As Carson-Newman trailed 1-0, was having a tough time solving the ace in the circle in Chelsea Stonecipher. Had a perfect game through 4 innings. 3-0. Misses outside. It's a 4-pitch walk to Sarah Walker to load the bases in the bottom of the 1st inning. Brings up Shelby Armstrong, but it appears that she will be facing a different arm for Milligan as Sechrist rips her mask off and is waiting on the edge of the circle for a pitching change. And it will be Sadie Schoen, senior out of Elizabethton, Tennessee, to take the place of Sechrist in the circle. And while she gets warmed up, we'll take a quick break on the Eagles Sports Network. It's a 2-0 lead for Carson-Newman. Sadie Schown is the new arm in for Milligan here in the bottom of the first inning. Comes in with an 0-2 record on the season and a 3.71 ERA through 17 innings. First pitch to Shelby Armstrong is golfed foul down the left field line. And that's 0-1. Bases loaded for Armstrong. Sarah Walker at first, Addie Saunders at second, and Grace Gregory at third. For the junior out of Knoxville, Tennessee, in her first season with Carson-Newman. Has become a steady part of the lineup as of late. The 0-1 hits her on her lead left shin, and that will bring in Gregory to make it 3-0 Carson-Newman and gives Armstrong her 10th RBI of the season. Good thing she's got an ankle guard on, and otherwise would leave a mark. And in due time, it might still leave a mark, but for Armstrong, she feels okay as of now. That brings up the pitcher, Reagan Rowan. Stands tall in the righty's batter's box. First at bat for her. First pitch swinging. It's a ground ball up the middle, and it is bobbled by the shortstop, Roulette Wheeler, and rolls into center field. Walker turning around third. She'll come to score. It is a 5-0 Carson-Newman lead as Rowan wastes no time. She picks up one RBI as Gregory came in to score, and then Saunders scored because of the error against Roulette Wheeler. Brings up the 9-hitter in Reese Winchester. First pitch to Winchester. Pops it up. Foul ground first base side. Molly Johnson rips off the mask and runs out of room for strike one. For Rowan, making her second start in the circle, well, she also parlayed that into her first start as a hitter. Told head coach Michael Graves, if we run rule Tusculum and I go 5 innings, you let me hit in our next game. The 0-1 to Winchester. This is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, head coach Michael Graves, a man of his word. Rowan has the bat here in game 1 against Milligan and picks up her first career RBI. The 1-1. Winchester turns, lifts a sky-high pop-up to left. Catch is made by Frazier, and that puts 2 away. And now it turns back over to the top of the Carson-Newman order with Malia Smith. Smith led off the game with a single. Came in to scores the first run of the contest. First pitch from Schown, misses low and away. To left-handed hitting shortstop, and it's 1-0. It was a sac fly from Macaulay Bailey that brought in Smith. She's got the speedy Shelby Armstrong over at second, Reagan Rowan at first. The 1-0. High and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Armstrong, the lead runner over at second. The 2-0. Comes in low. It's scooped off the turf by Johnson. 3 balls and no strikes. Base is open for Schown at third. And the 3-0. Finds the zone on the outer half to Smith. 3-1. Here comes the 3-1. Misses low to Smith, and she's aboard for the second time in this inning. And the bases are loaded once again for Carson-Newman. Brings up the center fielder, Abby Martin. First pitch to Martin is an off-speed that drifts inside to the center fielder standing in the righty's batter's box. Count goes to 1-0. Martin, base hit to the shortstop, Roulette Wheeler. 1-0 comes in, finds the top of the zone. Squares the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1. Painted on the outer part of the plate. 1-2 now to Martin. Center fielder trying to continue this inning for Carson-Newman with a 5-0 lead. 1-2. Martin, a hard hit grounder straight to the third baseman, Parsons. She'll step on the third base bag, and that ends the inning. But Carson-Newman drags 5 runs across in the bottom of the first inning as we head into the second on the Eagle Sports Network. Carson-Newman puts up 5 runs in the bottom of the first inning, and Reagan Rowan returns to the circle after her first career RBI with a 5-run cushion now, as she will face 6, 7, and 8 in the Milligan order, beginning with Mia Grasse and then Elena Parsons and Molly Johnson. Game 1 of 2 on this Thursday afternoon in Mossy Creek. Second doubleheader for Carson-Newman this week in a jam-packed 7-day period. They had Tuesday doubleheader on the road at Tusculum, and still yet to come a Saturday twin bill against Mars Hill at home. First pitch of the inning, high and outside to the right fielder Grasse. Grasse, a .343 hitter this season. 1-0. She's tardy on the fastball from Rowan, and the count goes to 1-1. Carson-Newman has gone through a little bit of a tough sequence here in the month of March with conference play beginning. The 1-1 strike that stamps the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They were 17-2 in the month of February through the non-conference slate. Then they split their first 4 doubleheaders in sack play. The 1-2 popped up at a play on the first base side. The count stays where it is against Grasse. But split the doubleheaders against Wise, Lincoln Memorial, and along with Wingate and Anderson, before finally getting the monkey off their back with a sweep of Tusculum on Tuesday. The 1-2, and Grasse spoils with a foul ball. Back-to-back foul balls against the right fielder. One, 2. Swing and a miss. There's strikeout number 2 for Reagan Rowan. Puts 1 away in the top of the first inning. It has been a welcome sight for head coach Michael Graves and pitching coach Holly Tucker Vance for the emergence of Rowan this season. She throws hard. She's been racking up the strikeouts this season, and starts with a strike right down Davis Street to Elena Parsons. Rowan now up to 12 strikeouts on the season. The 0-1, clipped straight back against Parsons. No balls and 2 strikes. Parsons is the top hitter on this Milligan side. She is 32 of 65 on the season, 3 home runs and 30 RBIs. She's a .492 hitter. comes the 0-2. Nubbed off the end of the bat foul to the netting behind home plate. Count stays where it is. So I'll look at the flag for those of you watching it on Flow Sports. It is blowing straight out towards center, although the wind has calmed down as I've said this. What a windy day in Jefferson City. Balls will be flying out if they're able to get a hold of one as Parsons fouls the 0-2 back. Rowan looks for another punch out, another out in this top of the second. 5-0 Carson-Newman lead. An 0-2 from Rowan. Foul tipped and was not squeezed by Bailey Worley behind the dish. Got to look at it on the replay, and it did bounce in before it got to the mitt of Worley. Senior's making her first start of the season behind the plate. The 0-2, a rise ball from Rowan that races upstairs, 1-2. Worley began her career at Pfeiffer, came over to Carson-Newman, and has been one of the glue pieces in the dugout. The 1-2 from Rowan. Parsons slaps it out to right center, and it'll split the alley and roll all the way to the wall. Picked up by Martin and fired back in. It's a one-out double for Elena Parsons. The senior continues to rake this season. That is her 8th extra base hit of the year, 33rd hit overall, and it puts a runner on second with one away. First pitch to Molly Johnson. Wave to miss as Johnson was late on the rise ball from Rowan. And it's 0-1. Johnson making start number 20 on the season, a .357 hitter. The 0-1 pops a bunt up to first base, picked up by Macaulay Bailey. She'll snap a throw back to second, where Malia Smith will step on the bag, as off the base was Parsons, and it's an inning-ending twin killing to send us to the bottom of the second. Not your standard double play, but it'll get the job done for Carson-Newman. Sends us to the bottom of the second. 5-0 Eagles on the Eagle Sports Network. Macaulay Bailey leads off in the bottom of the second and takes the first pitch ball from Sadie Schoen. Or Sadie Schoen, excuse me. Here the 1-0. Bailey golfs it out towards left field in foul ground, and there was a Ford F-150 driving down Davis Street. And held their breath for a moment. Thought it might land in the bed of the truck. Instead, it comes up short, and the count goes to 1-1. And the pitch home from Schoen. This is outside. 2 balls and a strike against Macaulay Bailey. Picked up RBI number 236 in her career, in her first trip to the plate with a sac fly. Made it 1-0 Carson-Newman. Turns on the 1-1, sends a deep drive, left field, way back, and gone. There's RBI number 237 for Macaulay Bailey. And it's 6-0 Carson-Newman on a leadoff home run from the first baseman. Her 5th home run this season. And the Eagles pouring it on here in the bottom of the 2nd. Wind is blowing out towards left field. Bailey got a good piece of it. But the wind carried it just that little bit further. And Lily Frazier, all she could do was watch it fly over her head when she got back to the wall. Brings up Grace Gregory. First pitch to her. Skips in front of home plate. She leans out of the way as it goes bouncing towards her feet. The 1-0. High and outside, 2 balls and no strikes. First leadoff home run in an inning since just about a week ago when Macaulay Bailey did it in the top of the 7th against Wingate. 2-0. Hangs outside to Gregory, 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the 3-0. And it's a 4-pitch walk as it zips beneath the zone to Gregory. And Grace Gregory reaches for the 2nd time today after her base hit in the 1st, and that brings up Addie Saunders. The left fielder worked to walk her first time up, standing in the lefty's batter's box. First pitch comes in low, and that is 5 consecutive balls from Sadie Schown. Right-hander looks at her wristband and comes home on the 1-0. It's a drop pitch that misses low and outside. And Saunders quickly in the driver's seat with a 2-0 count. Finds the outside corner. Schown back in the count as she snaps a skid of 6 consecutive balls to make the count 2-0, or 2-1. Saunders clubs it foul up onto Davis Street on the third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 1 away. There's a look at that ball. Seems all lonely up there. Someone will go and get it. Here's the break even to Saunders, and it hits her on her back. Catches her on the right shoulder blade, and time is called. For a visit in the circle. Saunders saying she's all good with graduate assistant Hayden Dye over at first base. Here comes another visit in the circle from head coach Cassie Fortner for Milligan. She's in her first season along with her assistant Kaylee Higgins. Buffaloes have gotten off to a good start in 2026. They are from the NAIA. They're 14-8 out of the Appalachian Electric, not Appalachian Electric Cooperative Conference, the Appalachian Athletic Conference. So used to all the AEC ads that I hear on the Eagle Sports Network. And Sarah Walker digs into the righty's batter's box. And the first pitch to Walker misses down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Walker had a walk. She was the last batter to face the starting pitcher in Caitlin Seacrest. 1-0. Walker hits one on the ground to short, picked up by Roulette Wheeler, who will go to third and retire Gregory on the fielder's choice. Brings Shelby Armstrong to the plate. She was hit by a pitch in the bottom of the first. That brought in a run. Swings on the first offering she sees and lifts it out of play on the third base side. Armstrong now in double figures with 10 RBIs this season. The 0-1, she lifts it out towards left field, and the catch is made by the left fielder Frazier for out number 2. And brings up Reagan Rowan, pitcher who's got a bat here in game 1 against the Buffaloes. First pitch, and it's first pitch swing. A blooper out to shallow left field. Frazier charging in, and there's out number 3. Carson-Newman drags another run across on a solo home run from Macaulay Bailey, but that's the only run they get here in the bottom of the second. Sends us to the third. It's 6-0 on the Eagle Sports Network. Back at the Vicky Kazee Hollyfield Softball Complex. Beautiful day in Mossy Creek. Lucas Triplett's got a little puppy in his arms on this 73-degree day under the sun. Some clouds throughout it. Isn't that a little precious, dog? For those of you watching along at Flow Sports, if you're just listening, you missed a great shot of a little puppy there. As Reagan Rowan settles back into the circle and fires one down the middle for a called strike 1 to the 9-hitter and pitcher. And Sadie Shao. The 0-1. Wave and miss, and it's 0-2 to Shao. .238 hitter on the season is Shao. She's 5 for 21 at the dish. And the 0-2 from Rowan. Goes to the rise ball. Shaun lays off him. One ball, 2 strikes. Rowan looking at the wristband on her left arm. Calls time. Settles back in. 1-2. Swing and a miss. There's strikeout number 3 for Rowan. First time through the order. Puts one gone in the top of the third inning. Turns back over to the top half with Ashley Worley, the second baseman. Rowan kept that low in the zone. First pitch to Worley. Comes up empty on the swing. It's 0-1. Rowan has picked up 4 strikeouts in 2 of her appearances this season. The 0-1 stamps it on the outer half, and it's 0-2. She's looking for strikeout number 4. If she can get one more past Worley here in the top of the third inning. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Worley down on 3 pitches, and it's back-to-back Ks for Reagan Rowan, pushing her total up to 4 on the afternoon. And there's 2 gone in the top of the third inning. Brings up Kaylee Oler. First pitch misses high, and it's 1-0. Really wish there was a foul ball up on the Davis Street right now as my roommate Case Roach is walking by. Just wanted to see how he would react to that situation. Here's the 1-0. And it's a strikeout on the outer half to Oler, and it's 1-1. Oler's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Here's the 1-1. This is outside as it pops out of the glove of Worley behind the dish. 2-1 with 2 away. Pair of strikeouts in this frame for Rowan. Two-one. Outside, 3 balls and a strike. 47 pitches for Reagan Rowan. 30 of them have been strikes. Here in game 1. 3-1. Misses inside. Pitch number 48. It is the second walk issued by Rowan as Oler gets on with 2 outs. Brings up the designated player, Haley Vigil. She's 1 for 1, has a base hit, and 1 of 2 hits for Milligan. Open stance in the righty's batter's box, and the first pitch from Rowan. Right down Broadway, and it's 0-1. One from Rowan. Popped up, left side of the infield. Smith ranges over towards the line. Makes the play, and there's out number 3 in the top of the third. Oler gets on a 2-out walk, but she's left on the bases as Rowan tosses up another 0 here on the Eagle Sports Network. First pitch swing for Reese Winchester to get things going in the bottom of the third, and it goes straight back where it came from, into the glove of Sadie Schown, and there's 1 gone in the bottom of the third. Quick reactions from the pitcher, stabs it out of the air, turns it back over to the top of the order with Malia Smith, and the first pitch to Smith. It's outside off the plate, 1-0. Smith has reached base both times today. There's another look at one of the puppies over by the concession stand. The 1-0. Smith, the chopper on the left side, picked up by the shortstop Roulette Wheeler. The throw to first is late, and Smith is aboard on an infield single. She has reached all 3 times. She has come to the plate today. Couple of singles and a walk as it brings Abby Martin to the plate. Center fielder in the righty's batter's box. First pitch swing, scorches one on the ground and into left field. Back-to-back base hits, put 2 on for the Eagles on the second base hit for Martin in game 1. And Macaulay Bailey comes up, looking to add on to her RBI total on the day. She's got a pair. Sac fly in the first, and then a solo home run to lead things off in the second. And this 6-0 lead for Carson-Newman. First pitch from Schown. Misses low and outside to the right-handed hitting first baseman. 47 RBIs now on the season after her solo home run in the second. Here's the 1-0. Hits a hard ground ball that goes straight off of Schown's glove, and it trickles behind her on the circle. That was coming in hot. And it is a hit. Schown might have just taken away another RBIs. Get another look at it on the replay. And it took one hop right off in front of home plate. And then off the glove of Schown in just a sort of a defensive sequence. And that is the last batter that she will see as Milligan goes back to the bullpen. And this time coming in, it is Bree Presnell. A senior out of Johnson City, Tennessee. And since we just came back from a break, we'll keep it with you right here on the Eagles Sports Network. As Grace Gregory will be the first one to face Presnell. With one away in the bottom of the third, and the bases are loaded. Macaulay Bailey at first, Abby Martin at second, and Malia Smith at third after 3 consecutive singles from Carson-Newman. Presnell this season has been one of the other main starters outside of Sechrist this season, although her lower third doesn't reflect that. Presnell this season, a 3.93 ERA through 11 appearances and 8 starts. 3-1 record in 41 innings of work with a team-high 24 strikeouts. She'll face Grace Gregory as Sadie Schown has moved into left field in place of Lily Frazier. Presnell, the righty, looks in. Comes home on the first pitch to Gregory. She finds the heart of the zone. Makes it 0-1. Gregory, an RBI single in the first, and then a walk back in the second. Here comes the 0-1. Gregory sends a sky-high pop-up that drifts out of play down the right field line. And Presnell ahead 0-2. The 0-2, Gregory chops it foul. There comes the 0-2 from Presnell, and it hits Gregory on her back towards her left shoulder. She winces as she walks down the first baseline. That one's going to hurt. She points to her left elbow as to where it caught her, and athletic trainer Colby Reed will go out to check on her along with graduate assistant Hayden Dye. As the third Eagle to be hit by a pitch today. Addie Saunders, who is coming to the dish, was hit by a pitch at her last AB. And Shelby Armstrong picked up a hit-by-pitch RBI in the first inning, and Gregory does the same here in the third. As Malia Smith comes in to score, and it's a 7-0 Carson-Newman lead in the bottom of the third inning. Gregory's all good, and Saunders steps into the lefty's batter's box as Presnell gets her sign and comes home to Saunders. Misses low and outside. Gregory now with 8 RBIs across her last 2 games. The 1-0. Saunders hammers it left center field, and it will split the gap and carry him over the wall for a ground rule double. Martin and Bailey coming to score, and it's a 9-0 Carson-Newman lead on a 2-run double from Addie Saunders. Saunders pushes her season total up to 17 RBIs on her 8th extra base hit this season. And she has done a tremendous job this year going backside in situations. As she splits the gap in left, but keeps the pressure on with 2 in scoring position for Sarah Walker. Her first pitch that she sees misses outside and a little high from Presnell. Walker goes the other way into right center field. Long run, and not getting there in time is Grasse. Gregory and Saunders will come in to score. It is a 2-run single. For Sarah Walker, the Eagles are in double figures. It's 11-0 with a 5 spot here in the bottom of the 3rd. Brings up Shelby Armstrong. First pitch to Armstrong. Dips low. And the count's at 1-0. The 1-0. Armstrong out towards second base. Catch is made by the shortstop Roulette Wheeler. And Walker, caught in the hot water, is doubled up as the throw goes to first, and the inning comes to a close. 5 more runs come across to score on 5 hits from the Eagles, and it's 11-0, heading into the 4th on the Eagles Sports Network.
Now pitching for the Eagles, number 27, Lacey Kemp.
5 more runs score for the Eagles in the bottom of the 3rd, so Reagan Rowan's day comes to a close. She's in line for the win if Carson-Newman's able to get 6 more outs and run rule Milligan, as Lacey Keck will be the one to come in. As Riley Sykes goes to right field for Carson-Newman. And at first base is Anne-Marie Richards. And Macaulay Bailey is over at 3rd as Grace Gregory comes out. She was hit by a pitch in the bottom of the 3rd. And to make sure there's no further issues for his star 3rd baseman Gregory, Michael Graves is going to relieve her. And is pushing some buttons here with this defensive alignment. First time this year that Macaulay Bailey is at 3rd base. It was a position for her last year and across her career, but has been the everyday first baseman with the emergence of Gregory. And the first pitch from Keck. This is outside. First time this year that Anne-Marie Richards is out in the field. There's a look at Bailey over at third if you're watching on Flow Sports. Wherever you are. Matt Scalzo on the Eagle Sports Network. Here's the 1-0. Keck finds the inner half to Halliburton, 1-1. This is the second time that Riley Sykes has been in right field. Also had appearance in right field against Bluefield State on March 1st. The 1-1. Flip straight back from Halliburton. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Katie Mathena is also in left field for Addie Saunders. And Abby Martin remains the same in center field. Reese Winchester and Leah Smith still at second and short. Bailey Worley behind the dish. Time is called as Keck steps off the rubber. One-two hits Halliburton, and it's a get out of jail free card for the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 4th as Halliburton is hit by a pitch with 2 strikes. That one came right in and hit her as she was kind of turning for a check swing. Hits her on her back right elbow. So it brings up Jordan Roulette-Wheeler, the shortstop, who's 0 for 1. Lefty Keck comes home. This is outside to Roulette-Wheeler. Comes right down the middle. It's 1-1. Now to Roulette-Wheeler. Had a ground out to the shortstop Smith at bookend the bottom of the first, or the top of the first rather. One from Keck. Slapped into right field. Sykes is there, and there's out number 1. In the top of the 4th inning. Riley Sykes with her first putout of the season. Brings up Mia Grouse, the right fielder, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Stands in the Reddies batter's box. Keck comes home. Grouse on the ground, sharply hit to Smith at short. Steps on second for 1. On to first. It's in time. A 6-3 double play closes out the top of the 4th inning. Leah Smith doing it herself sends us to the bottom of the 4th. It's 11-0 Carson-Newman on the Eagle Sports Network. Lacey Keck leads off in the bottom of the 4th. Got a 1-2-3, an unconventional 1-2-3 in the Top of the fourth inning, and now gets to swing the bat in the lefty's batter's box. And the first pitch from Bree Presnell. This is low and outside, and it's 1-0 against the freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee. First trip to the plate since March 4th against Lee, where Keck was 0 for 1. Picked up a hit in her first career trip to the plate in a Carson-Newman uniform as the 1-0 dips beneath the zone, 2 balls and no strikes. It's the lone hit this season for Keck. It was a single against Concord back on February 8th, opening day for the Eagles up in Johnson City. Time is called by Keck in the batter's box, and she'll step back. Reese Winchester and Malia Smith to follow. 2-0. Clips the bottom rail of the zone from Presnell. 2 balls and a strike. Flurry of changes in the top of the fourth from head coach Michael Graves. 2-1. Burns off the turf. That's 3-1 to Keck. Keck was the change in the circle in place of Reagan Rowan, who had an RBI single at the dish in the first inning. And is in line for the win. 3-1. Keck late on the pitch from Presnell, and it's 3-2. Carson-Newman just needing just 3 more outs in the top of the 5th inning, and they picked up their second consecutive run rule victory. Payoff pitch to Keck. Misses outside, and Lacey Keck works her first career walk. Brings up the second baseman and fellow freshman Reese Winchester. She's 0 for 2, a fly out and a line out. Has had a tough go of it with her bat as of late, but has gotten on base at a good clip, leads this Carson-Newman team in terms of walks, and she takes the first pitch strike from Presnell. 20 walks on the season for Reese Winchester. Here comes the 0-1. Winchester pops it up, foul ground, first base side, charging over is Halliburton. She won't get there in time, and the count's at 0-2. Here comes the 0-2. Just a touch off the outside part of the plate from Presnell. 1 ball and 2 strikes against Winchester. Had been a regular starter for Carson-Newman, but making her first start since game 1 against Anderson. The 1-2 bounces in front of home. The count goes to 2-2. Last 3 games at second base had been Shelby Armstrong, but Winchester getting the nod here in game 1. 2-2. Winchester clips it straight back. Here comes a break even from Presnell. There's a ball low of the zone. Winchester works the count full. Keck over at first after a leadoff walk. Here's a payoff pitch to Winchester. Hoist one in the air, foul ground left field, or actually it'll be landed in fair territory as the left fielder Schoen has a long run over. And it hits off her mid as she dives for the play. It'll be a hit for Reese Winchester. Her first hit since March 14th against Lincoln Memorial, and the first 2 have reached for Carson-Newman. So making now some more changes as Malia Smith checks out, and in comes freshman Atiana Stamper, who has been a workhorse and an ace in the circle for Michael Graves. She now gets to tote the bat. Stands in the righty's batter's box. In the first pitch to her, burns the inside corner, 0-1. The 0-1 finds the bottom of the zone to Stamper, and it's 0-2. Pitching-wise for Stamper this season, she is 8-3 with a 2.15 ERA across 81 and a third innings of work with 77 strikeouts. Here comes the 0-2. Check swing from Stamper, and it's a called strike 3.
Center fielder, number 14.
Gets her right at the knees, and it puts one away. Abby Martin stands back in the righty's batter's box. No changes in center field for head coach Michael Graves. And the first pitch to Martin clubs it out into shallow right field. Charging in and making the grab is Grasse for out number 2.
Now batting, third baseman, number 4, Macaulay Bailey.
Brings up Macaulay Bailey. 2 for 3 on the day. First pitch to Bailey. Zips above the zone. And it's 1-0. A pair of RBIs for Macaulay Bailey brought her career total to 237. Needs 3 more to break the all-time sack record. 1-0. Bounces in, 2-0. She could do that here with one swing. With Keck over at second and Winchester at first. The 2-0. Bailey pops it up, and it goes shooting over top the press box here on the first base side. 2-1. Had a sac fly in the first, then a solo home run to lead off the second. Her 53rd career home run. Then a single her last time up in the third, the 2-1. High and outside, 3-1. Might not get a chance here in this at-bat if Presnell doesn't give her a pitch to swing at. Here's a 3-1, goes after it anyway. And it's clipped straight back, 3-2. Looks like it hit part of our crowd mic. And it's made the sound in my headphones a lot clearer than what it was before. Here's the payoff pitch to Bailey. Turns and sends a pop-up into shallow center. Wind is twisting it around, but Oler, the center fielder, gets a beat on it and makes the play for out number 3 as Carson-Newman leaves 2 on in the bottom of the 4th. Sends us into the 5th. They need 3 more outs to pick up the win in Game 1 on the Eagle Sports Network. Carson-Newman looking for 3 more outs here in the top of the 5th inning, and Lacey Keck will try to be the one to do that against Milligan here in game 1. It's 11-0 in favor of the Eagles, trying to pick up win number 4 in a row. Matt Scalzo with you on the Eagles Sports Network. 7, 8, and 9 in the Milligan order, beginning with Elena Parsons, who's 1 for 1 with a double. Lefty Keck comes set with her glove at her lead left knee, and the first pitch home. This is low and outside to the right-handed hitting Parsons. With the double, Parsons is now an even .500 batting average on the season. 33 of 66 at the plate. The 1-0. This is a touch beneath the zone from Keck, and it's 2-0. No more defensive changes for head coach Michael Graves after a handful in the top of the 4th. 2-0 from Keck is off the mark. 3-0 against Parsons. And a 3-0. Misses upstairs. It's a 4-pitch walk to Parsons to lead off here in the top half of the 5th inning. If Milligan wants to extend this game any further, they would need to score 4 runs here in the top half of the 5th inning. As it brings up Molly Johnson, the catcher, standing in the righty's batter's box. And the first pitch to Johnson comes in right down the gut, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 from Keck. This is low and outside. It's 1-1. Bailey Worley's been behind the dish for Carson-Newman here in game 1. And when catching up with head coach Michael Graves ahead of this game 1 contest, he was telling me that Worley has been working on getting the ball back to the pitcher. As the 1-1 nubbed off the end of the bat foul. From Hannah Bates, who's pinch hitting in this spot. The 1-2 from Keck. Bates clubs it out in the left center field, and it will split the gap, and it will go over the wall for a ground rule double. Stopping at third is Parsons, and the first 2 reach for Milligan here in the top of the 5th inning. Showing bunt, puts it down. Keck off the circle to field it, snaps it to Winchester for out number 1, and coming in to score comes Parsons for Milligan's first run today. And it's an 11-1 deficit here for the Buffaloes. Advancing up to third went Hannah Bates. And turns back over to the top of the order with Ashley Worley, and she takes the first pitch strike at the bottom part of the zone. 0-1. As I was saying, for Bailey Worley, learned she was going to be starting as the catcher last night. Came out to work with Logan Floyd, first baseman for the Carson-Newman baseball team. 0-1 fouled straight back, and 0-2. Bailey sometimes has a little trouble getting it back to the pitcher. She was working on it in pregame as well, but she's been smooth so far here in game 1. Here's the 0-2. Rise ball from Keck, laid off of by Ashley Worley, no relation to Bailey. The count goes to 1-2. Over at third is Bates. With one away in the top of the 5th inning. Time is called by Worley at the dish. Steps out of the box and climbs back into the righty's batter's box. The 1-2 from Keck. Hangs outside. It's 2-2 as Worley nods her head towards third base coach and head coach Cassie Fortner. Two from Keck. Popped up shallow right field, and it will drop in for a base hit. Coming around third and in to score goes Bates. It's an RBI single for Ashley Worley, and it's an 11-2 Carson-Newman lead with both runs scoring here for Milligan in the top of the 5th. Brings up Kaylee Oler, the center fielder. Still has Worley over at first. First pitch is a bunt to third. Bailey picks it up. Winchester covering the bag at first. Puts out number 2 on the board, and advancing up to third goes Worley. So here comes Haley Vigil with 2 away. And the top of the 5th inning, a pair of runs for the Buffaloes. First pitch to Vigil. Finds the heart of the zone, and it's 0-1. Vigil's 1 for 2, a single and a pop out so far today. Lefty on righty as Keck comes to the plate with the 0-1. Vigil straight back up the middle, off the chest of Keck, picks it up, snaps it to first, and that will end the ball game. That's an 11-2 win for Carson-Newman in Game 1. As Game 2 will get going in approximately 30 minutes time between these two teams. A run rule victory for Carson-Newman as Keck perseveres through the line drive and makes a good play to give Carson-Newman its 2nd consecutive run rule victory. They improve to 26-8 overall in the season. Game 2 will be coming up in about 30 minutes time between these two teams. Riley Sykes will get the ball in game number 2 for Carson-Newman. Until then, I'm Matt Scalzo saying see you in a few on the other side on the Eagle Sports Network.